This is 3.3, how to create product differentiation. So what exactly is product differentiation? It is essentially making your product different or making it stand out from all the competitors. So this is often a difficult thing to do, and it does take some real planning. The best examples and most well-known examples I can think of are that Apple phones are very different to Android phones, and Xbox is different to PlayStation. But both of these examples, they are in the same market and they have the same purpose, as in Apple phones and Android phones are to do the same thing, and Xbox and PlayStation are to both play games. So there's a number of different ways in which you can make your product different, and these are taken straight from the specification. So first one is to establish a strong brand image. Second one is to use the design mix model. Third is identify a clear, unique selling point. And lastly, we've got an improved offering. So in other words, to change your product to be better than other people's. So let's start by looking at establishing a strong brand image. Now, this is something that you will need to do for one of your coursework units. You will need to talk about what a brand image is, and you will need to come up with your own. So this is a really useful exercise, not just for your exam, but to help you with your coursework as well. So for establishing a strong brand image, that is essentially trying to get your business recognizable. So where people see your color scheme, they see your logo, they see your mascot possibly, and they recognize your brand instantly. So a brand usually consists of a combination of the name of your company. A lot of people get this wrong early on and then find it difficult to change. You need to come up with a clever, recognizable, simple company name. Then you will need a logo or symbol that will be easily recognizable for people looking from a distance. We need a strapline, so that is usually some sort of slogan that relates to the kind of ethos of your company. Then we have a color scheme, which is obviously very important, but it should kind of reflect the values and style of your company. Then we can possibly have a mascot or a celebrity endorsement, which people see that person or that mascot and instantly recognize your business. Best example I could think of was Tony the Tiger from Frosties, because that is a long-lasting endorsement or mascot, that people will recognize. Lastly, we've got a distinct feature. So that is something that your brand might have that makes it stand out from other brands. So when it comes to establishing a strong brand image, this is really important because it helps to influence your consumers. A lot of companies, just by people recognizing the name or the brand name, they are more likely to buy that product. They don't even really look into what they're actually buying. For example, Apple will bring out a new iPhone, and people don't really look to see what has changed that much. They don't really look into the specification. They don't really look to see exactly what is inside the phone. They just recognize the brand and they are very likely to buy that particular phone. The same goes for a lot of these other brands. As we show here, these are the top 10 brands in the world right now. When you look at how much money they're worth, that is astronomical amounts of money. And they don't get that way without having this strong brand image where people automatically recognize it, and it gives like a sense of trust. So with establishing a strong brand image, it has benefits and drawbacks. The benefits of using this method is obviously the business name helps to sell the goods without you really doing anything. Another advantage is that it's easy to retain your existing customers because people will continue to buy those products just by looking for that brand name. For example, people tend to have like a favorite brand of car and they tend to stick to that particular brand and keep buying the same brand of car for a very long time. For disadvantages, it costs quite a lot of money to set up a well-known brand. It can be difficult to retain success over a long period, and it takes time to become established and well recognized. The next method we could use is the design mix model. Now, the design of a product can be used very, very easily to differentiate a product from another one. There are three factors as part of the design mix that we need to look at. So the design mix is broken into three sections. We've got the function, the aesthetics, and the economic manufacture. So when we are designing a product, we need to look at these three particular things. First of all, is the product fit for purpose and does it work? So is it going to achieve what you want it to do? The aesthetics is how the product looks, feels, smells or tastes. And finally, we've got the economic manufacture is how is it actually made? Can it be made efficiently and quickly enough? So with the design mix model, the three design factors, function, cost, and aesthetics, are mixed together during the design process. They're mixed in different ways in order to appeal to different target markets. So as a little example, if we look at Mercedes-Benz, now these are one of the top 10 brands in the world, and they are very, very high up in the car manufacturing business. So with their particular company, with the design mix model, when they're developing different cars for their range, they need to think about who the end user is going to be. And they will have lots and lots of research suggesting which type of vehicles people are looking for. So for these three examples here, we've got a real top-end sports car, very, very, very expensive. Not many people will be driving these on the road, but they still want to appeal to certain audiences. So when they're doing their design mix, they will start to move around the little triangle to look at different functionality, aesthetics, and cost. So it's obviously going to cost them a lot of money to make this car, but then their end selling price is also very high, so they will make that money back. But it has top end look, so they've focused more on aesthetics for this car. Now, when we look at functionality, it's a tricky one, this one, because it's very, very, very good when it comes to performance. However, it's obviously not that functional, not that practical for people because it's only got two seats and it's going to use a lot of fuel. Now, with the middle one, this is a very practical car because it's got high doors where you can easily get in and out. You can put car seats in. You've got a lot of storage space. You've got a lot of room for multiple people. So this would be really useful for families. It is a little bit less aesthetically pleasing. I'm not saying that it looks terrible or anything like that, but it doesn't look beautiful like the car at the top does. When it comes to the manufacturing costs, these would be mid-range manufacturing costs. It's a big car, so it's going to use a lot of materials, but the amount of cost is going to be minimal compared to the top one. Now the bottom car is basically aimed at the younger drivers, the inner city drivers, the ones who are going to struggle to get insurance on the bigger vehicles. So when it comes to functionality, it's like kind of middle of the road. It's not got the best performance in the world, but it is economic and it's easy to insure and it's a reasonable size. It's less aesthetically pleasing in the sense that this is the lowest sort of model you can get from a Mercedes, so it's not the most aesthetically pleasing. However, the manufacturing costs for this one are going to be very low, and they're going to be very low so that they can sell it for the lowest price in the range. Next, we have identifying a clear, unique selling point. Now, this one is a really interesting topic to look at because when you are looking at products, a lot of them are very, very similar. So if you take any product that you can think of, you will always be able to find a competitor. If you think about a cereal brand, for example, and you go to the aisle in the supermarket, you will see loads and loads of different types of cereal. If you go to the coffee section, you'll have lots of competitors in that area. If you go to the confectionery aisle, you'll see different competitors in those areas as well. And it just continues across the whole of the business area. So when it comes to identify a clear, unique selling point, it means what is it that makes your product different than everybody else's? What makes it better in some way? So the best examples are when you are saying that yours is the best quality, the lowest price, or it has some sort of new feature that nobody else has got, or a unique product or service that nobody else is offering. Now, the last one is quite difficult because to get something that nobody else is offering is quite a difficult task to do. The others are a little bit more easy, but obviously it involves a lot of research as well. If you claim that yours is the best quality, you need to base that on some sort of research. You need to basically have tested your product on the end user and get some evidence to back up your claim. The same with the lowest price. You'd have to research into the market and see what the prices are and make sure that yours is definitely the lowest price. With the features, you'd have to look at everyone else's products and somehow add something in that nobody else has got. So this is quite a tricky and challenging one to focus on. If you look at some of the examples at the bottom, we have M&Ms. So they were one of the first kind of sweets that came out that were chocolate, that they basically made this claim as it melts in your mouth but not in your hand. So in other words, you can hold the sweets and they're not going to melt in your hand, and that was their unique selling point. For the middle one, it says the world's strongest coffee. That is their claim. So their feature is that their claim is that coffee is stronger than any other coffee on the market. And the bottom left, it says that beer, wine and liquor delivered in under 60 minutes. So that is their claim, is that if you order from them, you will always get your delivery in under 60 minutes. The bottom right is the most well-known one. This is a Mac OS. So Apple's unique selling point is that their operating system is unique. It's very, very different to Android. It's very, very different to Windows. And it tends to stay very, very similar no matter what the device is. So if you keep upgrading your phone, the operating system stays very, very similar. So the benefits of a clear, unique selling point are that it makes your product stand out from the rest. It also can easily attract new customers, and it can also help to find investors. The drawbacks of a unique selling point are that it costs quite a lot of money to develop your product and make sure that it stands out from the rest. It can also be very difficult to come up with your own USP. When we look at an improved offering, this is looking at your product and seeing if you can differentiate it from competitors by making it better. So there's different ways that you could look to improve your product. The most obvious one is the features. It's trying to change or add features to the product or service that you've got. So if you take a particular product and you think, what could I actually do to make this one better? What features could I add in? For example, could you make the wireless range slightly longer than another product? Could you make it cordless so that it doesn't have any wires? Could you make it interact with other devices that other products don't do? Anything like that is changing the features. When it comes to location, this could be making it easier for customers to buy. So you could put your product into more stores than anybody else, or you could sell it around the world and offer worldwide postage, things like that. Appearance, now this is making the product actually look better, so changing the way it actually looks. This could be just making it look a little bit smaller, a little bit more sleek, a little bit more polished. Functions, so this is changing or adding what a product is able to actually do. So this could be things to do with the range of a car, for example, making it go further than others. Design, so this is improving the actual design of a product, making it a bit more robust, for example, making it a bit more sturdy, a little bit less likely to break, anything like that. Selling price, this is a really obvious and easy one. This is to just change how much you are going to sell your product for. So with an improved offering, the benefits are that it can be easy and cheap to make small adjustments to your product. Increasing the price is going to make you have larger profits. And just by making your product a little bit better than others can improve the brand image and the loyalty. Now the drawbacks is that it can be expensive to distribute to larger areas. So if you do decide that you're going to start selling in more stores, it's going to cost you more money. If you do make big changes to your product or to add loads of extra features, it's going to cost you quite a bit of money to do. And you may need to carry out research into other products to see what they are offering before you do anything that you want to do. So that is looking at 3.3. If you do have any questions, send me an email and I'll get back to you.